Hello everyone. This video will be covering your midterm paper and or assignment 1. Um, the midterm paper has a couple of key important things to remember. It is an interview assignment. The midterm is expecting you to interview a person who has experienced an acute life-threatening injury or illness, or who lives with a chronic illness or condition. The experience may have happened to them directly or a close family member, such as a spouse, life partner, child, or parent. The subject of the interview may be someone you know in your personal life, a client, or even a family member. As you are thinking about the person you're going to interview, it's important to do some preparatory work in advance. This is a good time to start thinking who you may reach out to and who may be willing to do this interview for you. You're going to be interviewing them about their illness, but you're going to be doing it from an ethnographic point of view. The information below will tell you more about ethnographic approach. Kleiman in 1988 writes that by using the mini ethnography, the clinician is allowed to place himself in the lived experience of the patient's illness. Here it is important because you are actually trying to understand the illness from the patient's point of view, or by putting yourself in the position of family members and or important people in the wider circle, you can also empathetically witness the illness as the family members do. This experiential phenomenology is the entry into the world of the sick person. So you're going to be interviewing them by interviewing them in a way that you understand, or that you put yourself in that lived experience with that person and the members of their family, and you really start to understand what's going on a more deeper level, and you really are actually entering the world of the sick person and actually viewing the sickness through their eyes and family members' eyes. In order to deepen our understanding and empathy for our clients experiencing a physical impairment or an illness, the paper will ask you to construct a mini ethnography of a person who has experienced an acute or chronic illness or injury. It is important to note here that an ethnography differs from a case formulation, and that your purpose is to understand your client or others through their own eyes. Again, you're trying to understand the patient from their eyes, not through the eyes or the lens of a clinician. You're not trying to create a treatment plan. You're not trying to diagnose or look for clues or investigate. Here, you're just merely trying to understand the sickness from the patient's point of view. Your goal is simply to understand the world as they see it and their illness place in that world. Again, the goal here is for you to really have an in-depth understanding, and to learn how to empathize with patients and have a deeper understanding of their story. These are the areas in which you're going to cover in your interview. You're going to explore the following areas. The story of the illness is one topic area. The illness and relationships, impact of illness, and then I'm going to hold before I talk about part 2. And so here are your interview questions, and please feel free to look at these questions and ask, but also feel free to add questions and probe if you need more information, or if the responses to the client gives is not clear or comprehensive. If you notice here, open-ended questions are important. So the story of the illness, you're going to cover what did the person notice first about their illness, how they managed symptoms before professionals became involved, what they thought their symptoms meant, what was the experience of involving others and understanding their symptoms, how different systems involved treat them, and who did they perceive to be helpful or not, and why. That is what you're covering under the section or questions you're asking under the story of the illness. The illness and relationships. How does the illness affect relationships with others, including family, friends, and strangers? What messages does the person receive from the larger society about their illness? Impact of the illness. How did does the illness affect their daily life, or did it affect their daily life? What is their perceived quality of life? What are their hopes for the future? And what roles does the illness play in their expectation? So you are to cover these areas in your interview, ask these specific questions, and feel free to add and probe to gather more understanding and to deepen your knowledge and empathy about their sickness. Again, the goal is to understand the sickness through their eyes, and so you have flexibility to add to these questions, but you have to at least ask these questions here. On the side here gives you an idea of how long each of these sections should be in your write-up. In part 2, after completing the interview and initial write-up, consider the following questions. What were your personal reactions, thoughts to the person's illness story? Based on your reaction, how can you utilize these reactions to become a better social worker in the health field? So again, part 2, you're doing a reflection of the questions that you asked before. And here you'll be writing, you'll be answering these questions. What were your personal reactions, thoughts to the person's illness story? And based on your reaction, again, how can you utilize these reactions to become a better social worker in the healthcare field? Um, uh, this assignment is drawn from Kleinman in 1988 book, The Illness Narrative, Suffering, Healing, and the Human Condition. And it is adapted from Health Theory and Practice. This assignment is 7 to 8 pages total. Please be mindful of the page length. Do not go over. Do not be under. Stay within this um, uh, number of pages. You will be evaluated. Part of your a grade includes the points you get for this paper includes whether you're able to stay within the page limit, and it's due February 18th, 2021. To help you prepare and write this paper, there are resources here on Blackboard, again, to help you prepare for this paper and to write this paper. Under the course content tab here, you will see your assignment 1 interview ethnography resources. If you click on this, you have 3 folders: readings, PowerPoint slideshow, and assignment websites. And here is additional resources to help you write the paper. So please read chapter 8 and chapter 5 of a book, the Practice of Qualitative Research book, which is listed here and there. Please do this reading before engaging or beginning the assignment. This is your preparation for the assignment. This chapter goes over ethnography, so you can have a better understanding of the framework in which you'll be applying to this interview assignment. And chapter 5 gives you good tips on how to conduct an in-depth interview. Both of these chapters, again, are from a qualitative research book. You also have a PowerPoint slide as well. And this goes through what is ethnography, again, giving you some rich information on how to conduct an ethnography and understand the purpose of an ethnography, and additional websites, assignment websites. This is Simple Guide to Ethnography, How to Use Ethnographic Methods and Participant Observations, Ethnographic Field Guide, and Ethnographic Methodology. Again, all these are resources to help you write the paper. As always, this is just a brief review of the assignments that are listed in the syllabus. Please be sure to read the assignment in detail. Also, each assignment has a rubric, which you should be able to view in Blackboard. Rubrics include information from the assignment itself. And in addition, you're responsible to stay on top of the due date. Remember, there are no late papers for this course, and make sure that you follow APA format for all assignments. If you use resources to inform your writing, it's very important that you document in APA format. Feel free to drop into virtual office hours if you have questions about this assignment. It is important that you get started on this assignment as soon as possible. More importantly, because If you have questions, you have plenty of time to drop into virtual office to ask any questions that you have about this assignment. So again, please prepare early as possible. Start thinking about who you want to interview and come prepared to VO with your questions before. As virtual office is held once a week, you'll have plenty of time to drop in well before the assignment due to start preparing for this paper. It is very important that you don't wait till the last minute, as sometimes virtual office can be the day before the assignment is due, on the week that is due, or it could be after. So it's not a guarantee that if you wait until close to when the assignment is due that you'll have enough time to ask your question and prepare. Again, as this is an interview assignment, you need as much time as possible. Please use this time to start thinking about who you want to interview. Do the preparation in Blackboard by reading the chapters, looking over the websites, and reviewing the PowerPoint, and moving forward with your interview. Thanks for listening to this video, and hope this is helpful in getting you started on assignment 1, which is your midterm assignment. Thanks.